if you want to age like a fine wine, basically get better as the years go on, then which of these issues matters most? Moderating your caffeine consumption, getting regular checkups when it comes to your hearing and your vision, taking care of your skin, staying hydrated by drinking enough water, good oral hygiene, taking care of that mouth. The answer? Well, sorry to disappoint you, it was a trick question, because according to the research I did, all 5 of those things matter about equally. To illustrate, let's go back to that list. Moderate caffeine consumption. This is a 1% issue. Now, depending on what study you read, caffeine in a moderate amount can have some positive benefits. Excess caffeine, though, can lead to sleep issues and high blood pressure. Next up, vision and hearing checkups. Again, another 1% issue. Now, regular checkups here can detect problems early, and they can ensure you have a good quality of life, so it's important, but apparently not as important as skincare, which got a 2% weight. Another 2% issue, hydration. And let's not forget good oral hygiene. Now, of course, you know that good oral hygiene is important to avoid the cavities, bad breath, but you know if you've got poor oral hygiene, it can lead to an increased risk of diabetes and heart disease. Still, in a list of 15, those 5, 1/3 of the list only adds up to 8%. So if you want to get better as you age, what are the 10 things that you got to pay attention to that account for 92% of the equation? Gentlemen, that is the subject of today's video. Now, the next item I'm going to talk about is actually number 3 on this list, and it has more weight than those first 5 items I talked about, with 13%. What am I talking about, gents? Well, this one right here is obvious, but so many of us mess it up, and that is having a healthy diet. Now, what does healthy mean to you? And I think this is one of the biggest issues is we use general words, but we don't specify as to exactly what is healthy food, or a lot of us have a lot of misconceptions here. Now, for me, a healthy diet is going to be rich in vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats. And gents, let's be clear, whether you're a vegan, whether you're a vegetarian, whether you are a meat eater, you can develop a healthy diet that suits the lifestyle you want to live. Personally, I know what torpedoes my diet is I just don't have time to cook. I've got 5 kids, 4 businesses, and a wife that I actually like to spend time with. But seriously, gents, if you are too busy to cook, if you want to eat healthy and you want it made easy, you need to check out today's sponsor, Factor. Gents, we've worked with Factor before, and what I love about this company is their meals taste amazing. And that's because it's delivered fresh. Their food is never frozen. These are dietitian approved meals delivered right to your doorstep. Over at Factor, they've got this team of gourmet chefs that are putting together all different combinations. And again, gents, it doesn't matter if you're vegan, vegetarian, you're a meat eater, you want something that is keto. They've got you covered with tons of different options. And on top of being delicious, let's talk about how easy it is to heat these things up. Guys, we're talking 2 minutes in the microwave. You can also heat them up in the oven. It really depends on your preference. For me, it's about speed. It's about being able to get a good meal, boom, right there. And gents, I'll tell you, as a family, I am picky. We love our fresh food. We love to cook, but come on, it takes time. You got all these dishes. What I love about Factor is when I don't have time, boom, I can grab a meal, be in and out within minutes. And believe it or not, gents, this is incredibly affordable. You will save money versus going and getting takeout. Oh, and I need to warn you about those smoothies. They are absolutely delicious, but if you got kids, they are going to try to steal them, so make sure to put them aside if you want to take them for your meals. Yeah, these things are absolutely delicious. And again, healthy. Gentlemen, down in the description of today's video, I've got a link over to Factor. Check it out. This is going to be the best deal on the web. Go to factor75.com. Use that code RMRS50 to get 50% off your first box. Next tip to age like a fine wine is to make sure to keep your brain active. Now, with a weight of 3%, this is something I think a lot of people overlook, but I know for me is important. And one of the things I love that I do as a business owner is I'm constantly getting new things thrown at me with online social media, all these different problems that we have as a business owner. The great thing here is you constantly are having to think, and that's key. If you find yourself in a job, and one of the reasons a lot of people hate dead-end jobs or factory jobs is because they're not thinking. Guys, you need to find a hobby. You need to get involved in something that is challenging your mind, because your mind can start to age in your 20s or 30s if you're not challenging it, if you're not putting yourself in a situation in which you can learn. That being said, you want to be careful of stress. Stress management, weight of 4%. So even more important here, and what I like about this one, or what I find with good stress management, is this is all in our minds. Now, stress management isn't necessarily what you think it is. I remember I saw 2 different guys in the same situation, high pressure military. One cracks and the other one, it's just a Tuesday. Didn't even bother him. What's the difference here? It's the way that they deal with stress. You study any type of jet pilot, any type of astronaut, these are people that are strapped to a rocket or an engine that is, that has, explosives on it. Why isn't this person stressed out? Because they realize they can't control a lot of things, but what they can control is their breathing, their training, their preparation, and then everything else, it's whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Point being is find a way to be able to manage stress. I've seen people that are in what are perceived to be high stress situations be able to manage it no problem. Other people in low stress jobs that still are stressing out over nothing, whether it's yoga, whether it's meditation, whether it's going for a run, being able to look at that situation in the bigger picture and to realize, hey, I'm grateful for what I've got. Whatever works for you, find a way to be able to manage stress. Next up, with a weight of 5%, I was very happy to see this one on the list, is managing social connections. As guys, we are so bad at this in general, but guys, you don't have to be. I know for me, it's simply get good at sending text. I know not everyone out there is a texter. I wasn't a texter, but when I realized that I can stay in touch with so many people by sending them just a quick text like, hey man, what's going on? How you doing? Just a quick reach out. All of a sudden someone reaches right back out. I had a buddy of mine and immediately I said, I can't text for shit. And he laughed at it. We immediately jumped on the phone, had a great 1 hour conversation. Here's somebody, very successful business person, I didn't realize was going through really tough times with his kids, with his wife. And it was just nice to be able to catch up with him. But I know for him to be able to unload to someone that was just there not to judge him, to listen. This right here has a huge effect on just how you view your life, being grateful, and just simply your heart. Very important, guys, to maintain the connections. And it's never too late to reconnect with people that you haven't talked to for years. Next up, with a weight of 7%. And I was surprised it actually was this low of a weight. And that is, guys, good sleep. So what equates to good sleep? Well, in general, I can tell you there are 7 factors. Your total sleep, your efficiency, your restfulness, your REM sleep, your deep sleep, your latency, and your timing. Now, I only know this because I'm measuring my sleep. Yes, I use an Oura Ring, but there are other types of sleep trackers out there. Point being is what's measured can be improved. And because I measure my sleep, I can see patterns. On days that I go for a run, I get a good workout in, especially in the morning. That night, I'm sleeping better. A pattern there? Yeah, take care of your body, and all of a sudden, you're able to get better sleep. In addition, if you're going to be going to bed at 9, yeah, I know I go to bed early. Don't be eating a big meal at 8 p.m. or even 7 p.m. Why? Because it takes me at least 3 hours to process that food. Otherwise, I just won't sleep well. Guys, if you want to stay healthy, avoid obesity, avoid cognitive decline, you need to make sure your body is getting sleep. Now, if you're watching this video and wondering, Antonio, how did you come up with these percentages? What's the research? What's the data backing up everything you're talking about? Well, guys, down in the description of today's video, I'm going to link over to Real Men, Real Style, a particular article that I wrote, support this, that goes into tons of detail because I do try to back up with what I say. I don't always cite it, right here in the videos because it would make the videos longer than they need to be, but the information is there if you want to find it. Coming in at 8%, which is almost undervaluing it, in my opinion, is the regular medical checkup. This is something so many of us guys, we just, unless it is painful and we think we're going to die, we're not going to go to the doctor. Even then, many of us would probably rather die than go. I don't know, what is the deal with not going and seeing a doctor? I know in the United States, a lot of people, it's like, I don't want to pay that money. Well, check your health insurance because for a lot of people, actually the yearly checkup is covered. It's not going to cost you anything. I'm with the VA, so I go in and not something I look forward to, but hey, it gets done. Point being is that there are options. And even if this is something you've got to pay out of cash for, if you can catch something before it turns into something worse, this right here could easily save your life. And really quick, if you're over the age of 40, I would recommend looking to get a colonoscopy as soon as possible. A lot of the insurance companies, they say, 45, maybe 50. Try to get it sooner because, again, if you can catch those polyps, you can find something that could develop into cancer sooner, guys, you're going to be able to save, you're going to be able to live a healthier, longer life. Now, I know some of you guys in your 20s, your 30s, you're like, come on, I'm not going to be getting a colonoscopy. Okay, fair. But let's talk about your alcohol consumption. Guys, 10%. Now, depending on what study you read, apparently moderate consumption of alcohol can have some heart benefits. But for most people, they're not going to drink moderately. Yeah, 1 glass is going to turn into a bottle. 1 beer is going to turn into a case. Gents, drinking like this leads to liver disease, cancer. And I haven't even gotten into how alcohol negatively affects things like your skin and your sleep quality. For me, personally, I stopped drinking in my early 30s. It was a decision that I realized the cost benefit really wasn't enough. Not only was I saving money because I was scrapping for every dollar at that point, but also I just realized, when I say no to it, I just make it a hard no. All of a sudden, I don't have to worry about having any hangovers. And I'd have to say, just cutting alcohol out of my life entirely has made it easier to live a healthy lifestyle. Plus, my friends now like going out with me because I'm the sober driver. Next up, we've got smoking at 12%. Not to beat a dead horse, but guys, if you're smoking, what's up with that? I mean, yeah, it's a habit, but you gotta kick it. So we're getting near the end here, guys. Coming in at number 2 at a whopping 14%, regular exercise. Now, this one probably didn't surprise a lot of you guys, but there are so many of us that know this, but still are not being regular. Yeah, we go to the gym maybe once a week, but what are you doing in those days between? What is something you could do on a daily basis? So really quick, an interesting fact about the small town I live in here in Wisconsin is the majority of the people here are probably over the age of 65. And you go to the pool in the morning and there are just tons of ladies, but they're in their 70s and they're in their 80s and they are swimming laps. And you got to say, you know what? I love seeing people active in something that they can continue on with the rest of their lives. And I think that's what, as guys, we got to look for. For a lot of the men, I see a number of men walking in our area, really smart. Cross-country skiing is another sport. I'd love to hear from you guys down in the comments. What's a sport that you can actually do for the rest of your life? So what's the number one tip to age well, to age like fine wine? Gentlemen, it's maintaining a healthy weight. Now, don't be fooled. This is not the same as a healthy diet and exercise. Maintaining a healthy weight means being steady, making sure that your weight doesn't go up and down or that you're not getting in shape and then being out of shape for 10 months, getting back in shape for summer, losing 25 pounds. Gents, you want to have consistency in your body weight, your body mass index. In fact, you want to have between an 18.5 and a 24.9 for adults. Gents, what we're talking about here is consistency, not gaining a lot of muscle, then losing it, picking up a lot of fat, then losing it. No, you want to maintain that steady weight throughout the year. All right, Jen, so what video to watch next? How about 9 bad habits that make you look older? Yeah, you don't want to have these habits, wondering what they are. Gents, check out this video right here. Yeah, don't be doing these things. Seriously, click on the video. It's good. Boom.